Hey guys, this is Max, and today we're going to be talking about what size solar panel, portable solar panel, do you need? So there's several different kinds of portable solar panels, and there's also several uses for these. So we'll get into the specifics right now. So first we'll talk about the features. The first three I have here are connectors, a kickstand, and waterproofing. But really I mean water resistance, because pretty much none of the portable solar panels on the market, as far as I know, are waterproof, but a lot of them are water resistant. So this is a picture of just a solar panel connector. What I mean by that is what connects the solar panel to whatever you're trying to charge. This is a Goal Zero 8mm jack that's like a proprietary connection with Goal Zero, and actually Jackery, I believe, uses a 8mm jack as well. But for the other ones, most other solar panels have a MC4 connection, and then that will connect to whatever you need, but just be sure of which one is ideal for you. Next, we have a kickstand here. And what's important about a kickstand is that you can angle it towards the sun. And just having if you don't have a kickstand, then you'll be placing it hopefully on an angle somehow, but most likely it'll be on the ground or on a flat surface, and it may not capture as much sun and power to give it its full capabilities. So making sure you have a kickstand, it can really help you to charge things faster. And then here I have waterproofing. So water resistance is what I mean here, and making sure that whatever solar panel you look into, make sure that it has a good water resistance rating. So they come with different ratings. Not all of them talk about the specific rating, but if it does, you can actually figure out what exactly it is rated for. But most of them are really good for a light rain, but not too much rain, because these solar panels are made of different materials, and not all of them are really good against the water. So making sure to do your research on the specific waterproofing of the panel will help you decide what you can use it for. Also here I have the handle. Clearly it's an obvious item, but it may be overlooked because some solar panels, portable ones, they don't have a handle on them, and it might be a disadvantage. And it's also just sort of a nice feature to have to carry it around, especially if it's a heavier solar panel. A pouch. So a lot of portable ones come with a pouch, but just checking to make sure it has one is ideal. Also, checking the size of the pouch might be something to consider, so you can fit your phone most likely into the pouch while it's charging, and then you don't have to deal with the cords and everything like that. And lastly, here might be the one that gets most overlooked. These are grommets, and these are the little holes you see on the top of this solar panel. These are great because you can either use a carabiner or a zip tie to tie them either to your backpack if it's a smaller one, or possibly to a tent to get an angle towards the sun. And several other areas are available if you have grommets. You have a lot more options of where to place the panel if you have these. All right, now we'll get into folded and unfolded. So the main thing here, there's two questions I have. The first one is, how foldable is it? So collapsible, foldable. This Goal Zero example in the picture, it is collapsible 4 times over. So that will be a nice compact frame. And the next here is, how large is it unfolded? So this is by far the largest portable panel I've seen on the market. And this one is a huge square. It's like a 100-watt solar panel. But clearly this one is not going to be good for backpacking or something like that. And it may be hard to tilt it on an angle to get full sun, but making sure you understand the dimensions folded and unfolded will help you optimize whatever you're going to use it for. Next here I have weight in watts. So the real life output, the reality, it only gives about 70 to 80% of the rated watts. And this is, that makes sense because you're charging from the sun, and especially if you're moving around with it, then it will clearly be less of a percentage. But making sure you have the proper angle with a kickstand and making sure you tilt it right towards the sun and having all those in mind will help you optimize how many watts you'll get into your system. Hiking and backpacking. So what I recommend here, about 15 to 30 watts is ideal. And the reason why I say that is because these panels are anything over 30 watts, not everything, but for the most part, it's going to be pretty long. So if you attach it to the top of your backpack, it may run down a little too long and be uncomfortable while you're moving around with it. So 15 to 30 is what I recommend. And then 30 watts plus would be for camping or doing something else where you would have it outside in a stagnant position. This one on the bottom left has a kickstand, and then the one on the upper right is great for backpacking, and that one's by NECTEC. All right, and then we'll get to ports. So what kind of ports does it have? And this picture here is from a Jackery solar panel, and it has a USB-C and USB-A port. Those are really great depending on what you need it for. Maybe you need more USB-As or a micro USB. Some do have micro USB attachments. So understanding the ports can really help you have a much better experience with your panels. So some examples I have here. The first is the Jackery Solar Saga panel, and that was the one I just showed earlier with the ports. It comes in a 60 and 100 watt panel. The main issue with these ones are that when folded, they are still large. Now the 60 watt panel, you may think maybe you could fit that in a backpack or something, but I don't remember the exact dimensions, but it's probably going to be too wide to fit into a backpack. So this one would clearly be used for camping and just leaving it outside and not moving it around. The next one here is a little more compact. You can see it's foldable, so you could probably fit that into a backpack. This is the Rockpals 60 watt panel, but they also have a 100 watt panel. And this is the version 2. The version 1 is still available, but the version 2 has few upgrades to it. And it has a USB-A quick charge port as well as a USB-C. And then you'll see here that it also has several different connectors. So the coolest one here, I think, is the Anderson port, the one all the way on the right, because you can connect it to larger solar generators as it is showing you in the diagram. But it also has these other ports that can connect to smaller solar generators, and it's just very compatible, which is awesome. That one, the Rockpals, I don't recommend putting on your backpack if you want to charge up. It's probably way too long for that, even if it's the 60 watt version. But you'll see I have one more example, and that's the Big Blue 28 watt panel. This one is pretty long, but it will fit on a large hiking backpack. So if you're going to use this for long distance hiking and backpacking, this could be a great system. It's water resistant rating. It's a pretty good rating. I don't remember what it was exactly, but that's what they talk about. You can check it out on wherever you want. Amazon, I believe, is the main area. But it is 28 watts, so it's the larger end of what my recommendation is for portable. And it has 3 USB ports, USB-A ports, and it has grommets that you could see here on the picture. So that's another consideration for backpacking. And then I have some other recommendations, just some closing questions here. So the main thing to ask is, what are you using it for? What purpose? Is it camping, hiking? What are you going to do with it? And then what devices are you going to charge with it? That's another consideration, so you can figure out what ports you need. And then the last piece of advice I have here is to aim for more power than you think you need. And the reason why is because of that 70 to 80% efficiency. So it's not going to give you 100 watts of power if it's a 100-watt solar panel. It's going to give you something like 75 to 80 watts. So just keeping that in mind will help you decide on the right panel that you need. And an example of needing more power, so this was actually my mom's Venture 30 kit. This is from Goal Zero. I'm pretty sure this is discontinued, but she was trying to charge it up, this battery pack that came with it, and she said that it would just take a very long time to charge. And what I realized when I did my own analysis of it was that the panel was only like 5 or 7 watts, and she didn't understand watts and how many she needed to charge a battery or a phone, and so it gave her a very slow charge time. So looking into the watt rating is extremely important, and definitely figuring out how many watts you'll need for your phone and other things you want to charge with the panel is going to really just help you and give you what you need. And so thank you so much for watching. As always, subscribe and hit the bell if you want to hear more or watch more videos on solar generators, different questions about those, as well as solar panels. Go ahead and do that. And if you enjoyed the video, go ahead and give me a like, and then comment if you have any solar panels, portable ones, and comment your experience. A lot of people read the comments and learn a lot if someone has something to say. And lastly, here I have an article that I will link in the description below. I talk about 9 different portable solar panels, all the way from 14 to 100 watts, and it will give you a good idea of some examples that you could use for your own needs. So check that out if you want, but thanks again for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.